Italy is one of the few civilizations in world history that has shaped not just borders but business, banks, law, luxury, faith, mathematics, finance, architecture, and even the way the world thinks about money and power. When people look at Italy today, they see pasta, romance, fashion, and beautiful cities. But beneath the charm is a story most people never learn. Italy practically invented the economic system the world uses today. This is the birthplace of banks, the birthplace of accounting, the birthplace of double-entry bookkeeping, the birthplace of corporate finance, the birthplace of merchant capitalism, the birthplace of luxury as an economic strategy, the birthplace of the world's most enduring global brands from Ferrari to Gucci. And all of this began long before Italy even became Italy. To understand Italy is to understand 1,000 layers of civilization stacked on top of each other. Romans built the first global empire economy. The Venetians mastered maritime trade. The Florentines invented modern banking. The Renaissance turned creativity into an economic force. Italian cities competed like economic startups long before the word startup existed. Italy doesn't just have culture, Italy monetized culture. Italy doesn't just have history, Italy commercialized history. Italy doesn't just have beauty, Italy turned beauty into a global luxury business. Italy is the world's leading exporter of dream lifestyle. Few nations can say that their greatest product is not a physical thing but a feeling, the feeling of elegance, quality, style, taste, and refined living. Italy has the unique ability to turn craftsmanship into profit and heritage into economic value. But Italy's story isn't just glamour. It is a story of ancient empire economics, maritime trade rivalries, banking families who shaped Europe, political fragmentation that fueled competition, industry clusters that dominate global niches, luxury brands that serve as modern economic engines. Italy's wealth has never come from massive land, giant armies, or abundant resources. Italy's wealth comes from intelligence, creativity, craftsmanship, and strategic innovation. And yet, Italy is also a nation of contradictions. Genius and chaos, creativity and bureaucracy, innovation and instability, cultural unity and political division. Somehow, Italy turns contradiction into productivity and confusion into creativity. In this episode of Sethtra Civilizations, we break down Italy's economic journey into the story no history book ever tells clearly. How a patchwork of city-states became the financial brain of Europe. How the Renaissance became the world's first creative economy. How luxury became Italy's modern weapon of influence, and how Italy's future depends on balancing heritage with innovation. This is Italy, the civilization that taught Europe how to count money, how to build power, and how to make elegance profitable. Part 1. The Past. Rome, Florence, Venice, and the birth of global finance. To understand Italy's economic identity, you must travel far beyond modern borders and step into a world where Italy wasn't a country but a civilizational engine, a place that kept reinventing wealth, trade, and power long before Italy existed as a single nation. 1. Rome, the world's first economic superpower. Italy's financial story begins with Rome, a civilization that didn't simply conquer land, it conquered economic systems. Rome created standardized currency across vast territories, tax systems still studied today, trade networks spanning 3 continents, legal frameworks for contracts and business, massive public infrastructure as economic policy, early forms of banking, money lending, and credit. Rome understood something nations today still struggle with. Wealth is not just gold, wealth is organization. Roads, aqueducts, ports, markets, shipping routes. Rome engineered them all. A Roman merchant could move goods from Spain to Egypt with legal protection and currency stability. In many ways, Rome built the world's first economic union 2,000 years before the European Union existed. And when Rome fell, its economic DNA didn't vanish, it mutated into the next Italian miracle. 2. Venice and Genoa, the merchant republics that controlled the seas after Rome collapsed. Italy didn't disappear. It specialized. City-states emerged like competing companies in a giant open market. Among them, the maritime republics Venice and Genoa became the Silicon Valley of the Middle Ages. They invented government-backed trade, early stock-like investment shares, maritime insurance, global trade routes, merchants, fleets, diplomatic, business networks. Venice was not a country, it was a corporation with a navy. Genoa was not a port, it was a bank disguised as a city. These cities grew rich not through force but through contracts, negotiation, partnership, and high-risk trade. They funded kings, financed wars, controlled spice routes, and sometimes even loaned money to the church. Their economic sophistication still shocks historians today. 3. Florence, the birthplace of banking, accounting, and modern finance. If Venice and Genoa built global trade, Florence built global banking. Florence didn't have a big army. It didn't have a strong navy. It didn't have huge land. What Florence had was intelligence, a rare concentration of merchants, thinkers, bankers, and innovators who decided to engineer money itself. Florentine bankers created double-entry bookkeeping, the system every business uses today. International branches in London, Bruges, and Paris, bills of exchange, early credit cards, corporate partnerships, currency exchange systems, long-distance financial transfers. The Florentine gold coin, the florin, became Europe's trusted currency, accepted everywhere from Amsterdam to Istanbul. It was the dollar of medieval Europe. And at the heart of Florence's financial empire was a family whose influence rewrote world history. 4. The Medici, Europe's original banking dynasty. The Medici family didn't just run banks, they ran Europe's financial nervous system. Their banking empire funded kings, financed wars, supported universities, influenced the Pope, managed international branches, created credit and lending systems, sponsored artists like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. The Medici discovered a simple truth: money is power, but controlling the flow of money is influence. And through their financial genius, Florence didn't just become rich, it became the center of the Renaissance, the world's first modern knowledge economy. 5. The Renaissance. When creativity became economic capital, the Renaissance wasn't just an artistic explosion, it was an economic strategy. Cities like Florence, Milan, and Venice realized that art increases status. Architecture attracts investment, beauty draws talent, culture creates soft power, innovation brings wealth. The Renaissance turned Italy into the world's cultural headquarters. And the wealth generated through banking and trade funded everything: cathedrals, libraries, academies, sculptures, and scientific discoveries. Italy became the world's first example of a creative economy, a model Silicon Valley would copy centuries later. 6. Fragmentation as fertilizer. Hundreds of city-states, one economic race. Unlike France or England, Italy never unified early. Instead, it split into city-states that competed fiercely. Milan, Venice, Florence, Pisa, Siena, Naples, and the Papal States behaved like rival companies. They copied each other's innovations. They stole each other's talent. They improved each other's industries. They drove each other's creativity. This competition turned Italy into a laboratory for innovation. Those same city-states are the ancestors of Italy's modern economic clusters. Milan gives fashion and finance, Turin gives industry and automobiles, Bologna gives education and food industry. Florence gives luxury craftsmanship, Venice gives tourism and trade, Naples gives shipping and culture. Italy's fragmentation created the world's most fertile economic environment. 7. The road to unification and industrialization. Italy didn't unify until 1861, shockingly late. But that unification brought standardized currency, national railways, integrated markets, industrial zones, a unified government. Modern institutions. By the early 20th century, Italy industrialized rapidly. Fiat rose in Turin. Fashion houses emerged in Florence and Milan. Northern Italy became an industrial engine, while the south remained agricultural, creating economic contrasts that still exist today. Yet despite its challenges, Italy's economic identity stayed the same: creativity, craftsmanship, trade, and luxury. From Rome's empire to Florence's banks to Milan's fashion houses, Italy built a civilization where style, intelligence, and innovation always paid. Part 2. The Present. Modern Italy. Luxury economics, industrial excellence, family businesses, and the power of Made in Italy. When you think of Italy today, what comes to mind? Romance, incredible food, ancient cities bathed in golden light? Absolutely. But behind these beautiful stereotypes lies one of the most fascinating and resilient economies in the world. Italy, for all its famous political drama and bureaucratic hurdles, is a global economic powerhouse. But not because of its size or its natural resources. It's a powerhouse because of its identity. Modern Italy built its wealth on a simple, powerful truth. People don't just buy products, they buy emotions. And over centuries, Italy has perfected the business of selling feelings. Let's start with a surprising fact. The Italian economy is much larger than most people realize. Despite its reputation for uneven growth, Italy consistently ranks as one of Europe's largest manufacturing hubs. It's a top exporter of luxury goods, a global leader in automotive engineering, and a dominant force in food production. Not to mention, it's one of the most visited countries on Earth, a world capital of high-end design, furniture, fashion, and craftsmanship. This economy isn't built on producing the most, but on creating the most value. Italy doesn't try to compete with China on mass production. Instead, it competes with France and the United States on high-profit cultural capital. And at the heart of that capital is its luxury empire. Italy is arguably the world's luxury headquarters. Gucci, Prada, Versace, Armani, Valentino, Fendi, Bottega Veneta, Bulgari, Ferragamo, Dolce, and Gabbana. These aren't just brand names. They are economic weapons, meticulously forged from craftsmanship, heritage, scarcity, and incredible storytelling. Italy has weaponized luxury, turning it into a form of soft power. While other nations build tanks, Italy builds desire, and desire is extremely profitable. The reason Italian luxury is so potent is because it's rooted in something real: centuries of unparalleled art, architecture, music, and design. When you buy an Italian suit or handbag, you aren't just buying clothing. You are purchasing a tiny wearable piece of the Renaissance. It's a connection to a story of beauty that has been told for 1,000 years. This obsession with beauty extends to its machines. Italy doesn't make the most cars in the world, but it certainly makes some of the most iconic ones. Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, Alfa Romeo, Pagani. These names evoke passion, speed, and soul. They prove a fundamental difference in philosophy. Germany builds perfect machines. Italy builds beautiful machines. There's a reason Ferrari is consistently ranked as the world's most powerful luxury brand. Its value isn't just about performance. It's cultural, emotional, and deeply symbolic. But the Italian automotive industry goes far beyond supercars. It's a leader in motorsport technology, advanced automotive design, and niche, high-performance manufacturing. Italy makes machines that people dream of owning, not because they need them, but because they desperately want them. Of course, we can't talk about Italy without talking about food. But Italian cuisine isn't just delicious. It's a massive international industry. Italy exports billions of euros worth of wine, olive oil, cheese, pasta, and high-end coffee equipment. But it also exports something less tangible: its culinary culture. The global network of Italian restaurants, whether authentic or not, all contribute to Italy's soft power and economic influence. From culinary training schools to high-end restaurant concepts, food has become Italy's second luxury industry, a global empire built on taste. While we dream of luxury in food, northern Italy is busy making the world run. This region is one of Europe's strongest industrial zones. Cities like Milan, Turin, Bologna, and Modena are hubs of innovation, producing high-tech machinery, pharmaceutical equipment, industrial tools, and robotics components. The secret to this success lies in Italy's industrial districts. These are clusters of small, highly specialized companies, much like Germany's famous Mittelstand. They don't try to be the biggest. They strive to be the best. These nimble, expert firms dominate niche markets all over the world, quietly powering global supply chains with their unparalleled quality. And what's the hidden engine behind all of this, from luxury goods to industrial parts? The family. Over 80% of Italian companies are family-owned. And unlike in many other countries, where family businesses often fade by the third generation, Italy's family firms have a unique ability to thrive for centuries. This model fosters stability, preserves craftsmanship, and allows for a long-term vision that corporate structures often can't match. It's a system built on passing down skills from one generation to the next, ensuring that quality is never sacrificed for short-term profit. Many of the world's most desirable luxury goods are born in these tiny family workshops, not in giant, soulless factories. Then there is the endless golden river of tourism. Italy is one of the most visited countries on the planet, generating enormous revenue from its unparalleled cultural heritage. Rome, Venice, Florence, the Amalfi Coast, Tuscany, Sicily. Each region is a world-famous brand in its own right. Italy's very geography is a living, breathing economic engine, powered by art, architecture, history, and stunning natural landscapes. This constant flow of visitors doesn't just support hotels and restaurants. It fuels the entire Made in Italy ecosystem, creating global ambassadors for Italian culture. However, it's crucial to acknowledge Italy's longest-running economic challenge: the stark divide between the north and the south. Northern Italy is rich, industrial, and deeply integrated into the global economy. Southern Italy, by contrast, has historically struggled with higher unemployment, lower investment, and slower infrastructure development. This division is a major hurdle for national growth, a complex problem with deep historical roots. Yet this very divide also contributes to the incredible diversity that defines Italy. The unique cultures, traditions, and even economic realities of the South are an inseparable part of the nation's charm and identity. So if we had to define modern Italy's economy in a single line, it would be this: a nation whose power comes not from force, but from taste, craft, culture, desire, and the global demand for beauty. Today, Italy stands as living proof that a civilization can build immense wealth not by producing more, but by producing better. It shows us that in a world saturated with mass-produced goods, the most valuable commodity of all might just be a piece of a beautiful story. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into the Italian economy interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of wealth and culture. See you next time. Part 3: The Future. Italy's next chapter: reinvention, innovation, talent, tourism, and the evolution of global luxury power. When you think of Italy's future, what comes to mind? Maybe the same classic images: sun-drenched olive groves, quiet Tuscan hills, gondolas gliding through Venice, the rich aroma of espresso, a Ferrari flashing by. But Italy's real future isn't a postcard. It's a battlefield, a complex arena of demographics, innovation, globalization, and cultural reinvention. Italy stands at a critical moment in its history. It's a nation blessed with an unparalleled past, yet pressured by the demands of tomorrow. And once again, like it has for centuries, Italy must do what it has always done best: turn its identity into industry and its heritage into powerful economic value. Let's start with the biggest challenge: the demographic earthquake. Italy faces one of the lowest birth rates in the world. Its population is aging fast, and the workforce is shrinking. This isn't just a social headline. It's a direct threat to Italy's productivity, its manufacturing strength, and its long-term growth. But if history teaches us anything, it's that Italy's survival instinct is incredibly sharp. What Italy will lack in population, it will replace with strategy. We'll see a rise in immigration-driven workforce growth, a global push to attract international talent, and a massive investment in automation, robotics, and AI-assisted production. Remote work hubs will pop up in beautiful, unexpected places, and strategic investments will pour into high-skill industries. Italy won't collapse from an aging population. It will restructure, just as it has for the last 2,000 years. This shift will reshape Italian identity, but if managed well, it will inject new energy and new skills into the economy, making it more open and more global than ever before. This leads us to the second major transformation: high-tech manufacturing. Italy will not try to compete with cheaper, mass-production economies. It can't, and it shouldn't. Instead, Italy will compete by becoming smarter. We're on the cusp of a new Italian renaissance, this time driven by technology. Expect the rise of robotic craftsmanship, where machines assist artisans with superhuman precision. Imagine AI-aided design studios that can generate thousands of creative options in seconds, digital fashion prototyping that reduces waste, and smart factories across northern Italy operating with incredible efficiency. We'll see 3D printing revolutionizing the automotive and aerospace sectors, and new hubs for biotech and medical engineering. Italy's advantage has never been volume. It has always been precision and quality. Technology will protect and enhance that advantage. Picture a 1,000-year-old leather workshop in Florence, using AI to refine patterns while the master artisan's hands still do the final, irreplaceable stitching. Or a Ferrari assembly line where robotic accuracy is perfectly balanced with human artistry. The future isn't about replacing craftsmanship with machines, it's about merging them. Next, let's talk about Italy's new luxury currency: sustainability. In the coming decades, the very definition of luxury will evolve. It will shift from just being beautiful to being responsible, and Italy is perfectly positioned for this transformation. The luxury brands of the future won't just be judged on their design, but on their values. Consumers will demand sustainable materials, ethical supply chains, low-impact production, and total transparency about where their products come from. Circular fashion and furniture, designed to be reused and recycled, will become the new standard. And this is where Italy has a natural, almost unfair advantage. The Italian economy is already built on principles of small batch production, artisanal methods, natural materials, and the concept of slow fashion, creating timeless pieces that last a lifetime. Its heritage in farming and winemaking is rooted in a deep respect for the land. This positions Italy to completely dominate the luxury sustainability revolution. In the future, discerning consumers won't just ask, "Is it Italian?" They will ask, "Is it sustainable Italian?" Of course, we can't talk about Italy without talking about tourism. It's the country's greatest strength, but it's also creating immense pressure. The iconic cities Rome, Florence, Venice, Milan are bursting at the seams. The future of Italian tourism can't be about more people. It has to be about better experiences. Italy will strategically shift from mass tourism to premium, high-value cultural immersion. This means curated travel, decentralized tourism that guides visitors to smaller, equally beautiful historic towns, and unique experiences you can't get anywhere else. Imagine taking part in an immersive Renaissance art workshop, enrolling in a world-class culinary academy in Emilia-Romagna, or retreating to a sustainable, slow-travel villa in Sicily. The tourist of the future won't just visit Italy, they will experience it deeply, slowly, and personally. This evolution from volume to value will not only increase revenue, but also relieve the strain on Italy's most precious cities. Now, let's look at the future of luxury itself. The global market is changing at light speed, and Italy must adapt. And it will brilliantly. Italian luxury will expand beyond the physical world. We'll see the rise of digital fashion houses, creating stunning virtual garments for the metaverse. AI will assist in creating haute couture designs that were previously unimaginable. Luxury will become more personal and more experiential, with flagship stores transforming into cultural hubs. Think about wearing a Gucci augmented reality jacket on your social media feed. Imagine owning a Ferrari NFT that unlocks exclusive features in your real-life car. Or picture a digital Milan Fashion Week, streamed live to millions of viewers in Asia, allowing them to interact and purchase in real time. Italian luxury brands will evolve from being just product companies to becoming global platforms for culture, technology, and desire. If Italy has a hidden goldmine, an untapped well of future wealth, it is the South, the Mezzogiorno. For decades, it has been seen as a challenge, but with strategic investment, southern Italy could become a powerhouse. It has the potential to be a Mediterranean tech hub, a green energy superzone powered by sun and sea, and a tourism paradise that rivals any in the world. Its ports make it a natural logistics gateway between Europe and Africa. And its rich land is a treasure for agriculture, citrus, olives, wine, and specialty foods. It could also become a cultural content capital, exporting film, food, and lifestyle media to the world. Italy's future national strength is directly tied to how well it unlocks the immense potential of the South. Finally, what is Italy's role in Europe and the world? In the next 50 years, Italy's voice in the European Union will grow stronger, not through military might or rigid economic policy, but through its unique strengths. In a world where culture is the new global currency, Italy holds an unbeatable hand. Its soft power directly influences trade and economic identity. The world wants what Italy makes. The EU needs Italy's advanced manufacturing capabilities. And as global trade routes shift, the Mediterranean is becoming more important than ever. Italy will lead through culture, creativity, diplomacy, and taste. So, Italy's future in one line? It's a nation that will thrive by transforming its priceless heritage into relentless innovation and turning beauty into the world's most profitable economic engine. Italy's future is not to compete with industrial giants on their terms. Italy's future is to remain what it has always been, the global headquarters of elegance, imagination, craftsmanship, and desire. Thanks for watching. If you found this analysis interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more deep dives into the future of global economies. See you in the next one. And now we arrive at the end of Italy's story. Though calling it an end feels strange, because Italy never truly ends. Italy simply pauses, reinvents, and resumes. For over 2,000 years, this patchwork peninsula has shaped the world's laws, its banking systems, its trade networks, and its artistic standards. It gave us the architectural language we still use today, and even invented the modern idea of luxury itself. Italy's power has never been measured by armies or territory, but by something far more rare: the ability to make the world want what Italy creates. This is the hidden truth behind its economic identity. While some nations produce necessity, Italy produces desire. While some nations brute force power, Italy expresses power through elegance. And while some nations chase efficiency, Italy elevates experience. This is the thread that connects it all. From the empire economics of ancient Rome to the banking revolution born in Florence. From Venice's maritime trade that dominated the seas to Milan's fashion empire that conquered the modern world, Italy built a civilization where culture itself is currency. It's a powerful lesson. Italy teaches us that wealth does not always require vast lands, giant factories, or massive populations. Sometimes wealth requires something far simpler: a good idea, a skilled hand, a beautiful vision, a feeling the world can't forget. Think about it. Italy's greatest export has always been emotion. The feeling of holding a handcrafted watch, knowing the time and care that went into it. The feeling of wearing something made with a dedication to detail. The feeling of driving a machine built not just with engineering but with passion. The feeling of walking through streets designed by geniuses centuries ago, where every stone tells a story. These feelings translate directly into real-world economics. They create billion-dollar brands recognized across the globe. They attract over 60 million tourists a year, each one seeking to experience that unique Italian feeling. They sustain thousands of small, artisanal businesses, often family-run for generations, that form the backbone of the economy. They give Italy a global influence without ever needing global dominance. But Italy also teaches another lesson, one that's far deeper and far more human. The world changes, but craftsmanship never goes out of style. Technology evolves, but taste never disappears. Empires fall, but culture survives. Look at the Colosseum, still standing after 2 millennia. Look at the art of the Renaissance, still inspiring us 500 years later. This is resilience, built not on concrete, but on creativity. Italy's story is not about perfection. Far from it. Italy is chaotic, emotional, politically unpredictable, and wonderfully inconsistent. But inside that chaos lives a pattern, an economic strategy rooted in creativity, identity, and skill. Italy succeeds not by being the most organized nation, but by being the most unforgettable one. And beneath all the beauty, all the art, and all the history, Italy carries a philosophy that the world desperately needs today. It's a simple but profound idea. You don't need to produce everything. But whatever you do produce, make it excellent. Make it with care. Make it with soul. This is the Italian blueprint. This is the Renaissance spirit. This is the soul of Made in Italy. It's not just a label on a product. It's a promise of quality, a legacy of skill, and a commitment to beauty. And as the world moves into an era of artificial intelligence, automation, and mass production, Italy's message becomes even clearer, even more relevant. When everything becomes fast, automated, and digital, the human touch becomes priceless. That is Italy's future. That is Italy's advantage. That is Italy's secret weapon. In a world of fleeting digital content and disposable goods, the things that are made with human hands, human heart, and human vision will be the things we treasure most. If you enjoyed this journey through Italy, the Rome that engineered empires, the Florence that invented banking, the Venice that controlled oceans, the Milan that redefined luxury, and the Italy that continues to shape global taste, then stay with us for the next civilization. Every week we bring you another country, another story, another economic blueprint that shaped our world. If you believe history should feel alive, if you want to understand how nations rise, fall, rebuild, and reinvent their wealth, and if you enjoy learning through emotional storytelling and deep economic insight, then like this video, share it, and subscribe for the next episode in this global journey. The world is full of civilizations. Each one carries lessons. Each one carries warnings. Each one carries a blueprint for wealth and destiny. And we're just getting started. Thank you for watching.